Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus A330 pilot, and welcome back to the INI-built A340 with a version 1.0.4 update. Today we're going to fly from Tokyo Narita via the North Pole to Copenhagen Airport for a 13.5-hour flight. So let's go ahead and jump right into that one, and as always start by going over the flight plan. So this is what it looks like. We are departing Tokyo, then we are flying around Russia and through the gap between Alaska and Russia, and then 285 north, so not exactly over the pole, but almost. We'll be able to see it from the cockpit. And then just scratching the northern tip of Greenland and southbound all the way into Copenhagen. We will be flying through the polar night over here, even though this is, by the time of the day, a complete daytime flight. But since we are flying through the polar night, I'm somewhat hoping that we are going to see a couple of northern lights on today's flight. Looking into the significant weather chart now, we're departing Tokyo, and as we can see down here in this area number 1, we do have some turbulence until flight level 360, so the climate's probably going to be a little bit turbulent, but once we've done our left-hand turn, setting course around Russia, we are going to cross a couple jet streams, but at least there is nothing forecast with it. Now, as you can see, the area over the pole is completely clear, and then on the other hand side we are making landfall in Norway around about at Trondheim. Now, looking into the plan one more time, we do have 3 ETOPS airports. The first one, New Chitose in northern Japan, then we got one in Alaska, and then finally in northern Norway. Now let's have a look into the airport weather. Departing Tokyo, we have clear skies, temperature 10, QNH 1015, and Copenhagen, a little bit rainy, low-lying clouds all throughout the day. So our arrival time today is going to be 14:35, and if we look into that, we can see that at around that time we are looking at showers of rain and snow, broken clouds in 300, but overall okay flying conditions, even though with a little low-lying cloud base here. Our alternate in Malmö is looking pretty similar. After all, it's just around the corner. 1,200 meters visibility, light snow and rain and broken clouds 300, so not that good. Looking into Billund, that one is a little bit better. Over here we are just looking at some rain and drizzle, so Billund's probably the better alternate here, so we are going to consider taking fuel for that extra alternate. Now, Aalborg would be even better, but let's go ahead and have a look into the fuel section to check which one actually needs more fuel. Now from here, going up in the plan, departing Tokyo Narita on time, we're going to arrive in Copenhagen on time. Takeoff weight, well, still some 20 tons margin to the max takeoff weight, max landing weight, also some 25 tons of margin here. Starting in flight level 310, later on climbing up to flight level 390 during the flight. And now going down into the fuel sections, we can start with the other alternates. As you can see, Billund just takes some 400 kilos of extra fuel. Aalborg takes 600 kilos extra fuel, so we can certainly consider taking any one of those to have the better weather forecast. Now, looking into the fuel section itself, 98 tons is the takeoff fuel plus taxi, so 99 tons. Then if we make that 100 tons, we got all the fuel we need for today's flight. So we'll just take 100 tons and then we got all the alternates covered. Alright, and with that in mind, I suppose we are going to get right into our Airbus A340. So let's go ahead and get started. Engine master levers are off, start selector norm, weather radar off, landing gear lever down, wipers off, battery voltage is all at or above 25.5. Then we can power the airplane up over here. And while it's powering, let's go ahead and import the flight into our EFB. Here we go, and then we got the charts which we can already collect. So we got Tokyo, we take the parking chart. I do think it's Terminal 2, but let's go ahead and just have a look. No, it's not Terminal 2, it's Terminal 1 and Cargo. Let's take that one, then we take the ground chart. And finally, we got the taxi chart, runway 34 left for our departures today. So that's that one. Cool, then we just need our sits, and we are going off runway 34 left, so probably that chart over here. Let's download and check real quick. No, not really that chart. Okay, then let's see, we are going via Gulbo, so Gulbo to departure, and we actually have a dedicated SID chart for that. Perfect. Last but not least, let's go down and collect that same chart for the procedural descriptions, and with that we've got everything we need. Now the airplane is live. Let's go down into the FMS. We can delete any of those previously stored points. Delete. Oh, interesting. It should delete any of them at the same time. So 340-300, CFM56, nav database is up to date. Then let's have a look into the ATC com pages. Message record is empty. Then we got the ADS armed, and we don't have auto position reports installed on this airplane. That's good. So MCDU menu, ATSU, AOC menu, flight init request. And here we go, Scandinavian 984 from Tokyo Narita to Copenhagen. A quick word here, you guys are absolutely right that in the past this flight, or that in the present, this flight operates from Tokyo Haneda. However, in the past, you can still find loads of videos and real-world flight plans for that matter. It did operate on the A340 from Narita. Okay, so we got that thing on board. Then let's go right down and see if we can collect an Atus. So that's gonna be... well, we are aware of that bug. We got to first request the route up here before we are able to actually able to get anything. So let's uplink that route. Here it is, and then we can just check that printout. Flight 984, looking fantastic. Right, so let's go ahead and try fetching the Atus one more time now. So Atus, we do want Romeo Juliet Alpha Alpha / D because we want the departure Atus, and for Copenhagen, of course, we do want the arrival Atus. Like that. Atus type is going to be say intentions, request, and request. Perfect. So with that, our weather is on the way. Once that's here, we can start doing our takeoff calculations, and until that's here, we can start setting up the basics. So Tokyo 34 left, and just synchronize that stuff please. Now for our payload and fuel, let's use import from SimBrief. Then we can go to fueling down here, and we'll take 100 tons. Like that, and let's do an instant load, and then load with GSX thereafter. And that should hopefully initialize our boarding. Yeah, request boarding, thank you. Alright, wonderful. So we still don't have any Atus. It does say company message received. There is nothing in here. And well, we do have a load sheet, that's okay. So let's have a look at that load sheet. So that's 159.8. Oh, that's still with the standard SimBrief figures over here. From Narita to Copenhagen on the Kilo Bravo Mike, which is our airplane. CG 28 and portable water 100% accept for now. And that's that. Alright, well then we are just going to take the standard figures over here. For the takeoff weight we got, let's say 260 tons. Then we are on the conservative side, so 260. Like that, flaps 2, air conditioning off, no anti-ice needed since we got clear skies. And that is looking fantastic. We can fly. Who would have thought that that's possible? Alright, great. So we got that thing completed. With that we are initially done with our EFB setup. Then let's move up here and start getting the airplane ready. So ADRS is coming on, APU fire test is looking good. Then let's actually go ahead and start that APU as well. Because it's just 10 degrees outside, well actually just 7 degrees outside. We absolutely do want to make it a little bit more comfy for our guests, do we? Also need a frequency. So let's get the overview chart, and delivery is on 121.9. Alright, and that thing is active. We want to be sure that we're actually listening to it as well. Like that. 1, 2, 3. Transmit on the interphone for now, and 1 to 1.5 on VHF2. Okay, so that's all looking good. That's all done. Then for the technical status, recall for 3 seconds. And there is nothing in there. Status page is checked. Yeah, A340 CFM engines, and it's the small version, it's the 300 that we're flying today. Alright, with that out of the way, let's go right down here and cross-check. The oxygen pressure is good, the hydraulic quantity is good, engine oil quantity is pretty much full, that's okay. And the flaps are up, that agrees with the lever, ground support is retracted. Then we can release that parking brake here for a second. No bug, gotta remove the chocks to be able to do the test. And here we go, looks good. And parking brake is set again. Let's just check the wheels page, and the brakes are cold, perfect. Alright, cool, then we can also put the chocks back in place, and that's it. Wonderful, so our preliminary cockpit preparation is complete. Then let's continue with the cockpit preparation procedure. And by the way, I really don't know why all those windows are flickering here. I don't think they did in past versions, but with Sim Update 4 it looks like the Tokyo Narita scenery seems to have a couple problems here. Well, not much we can do about it. So, flight recorder, ground control on, oxygen crew supply on, evacuation switch on captain only, and the left side is set. In the middle, refueling is complete, so we can turn all of that stuff on. APU bleeds coming on. So, batteries going off and on again. Then let's check the LED-DC page. And as we can see, they are charging just normally, like they should. Alright, so refueling is complete, so all the fuel pumps can be turned on. Fire test is looking good. The right side is all set. And CBR test is looking good. Beautiful, then let's move forward to the front. Standby horizon is aligned. In terms of the QNH, we got 1015. So let's select that. It's the 24th of November 25. That's looking fantastic. And down here, everything is set. Weather radar can go to 5 degrees above. Weather and turbulence is selected. Ground clutter suppression should be on automatically. I don't know why that one's bugging back into the neutral position. Okay, so that's our initial setup of the flight deck done. Then let's go ahead and start with our FMS. So, onto the init page. We got Romeo Juliet Alpha Alpha to Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel, alternate Malmö. I'll leave that in here for the time being. However, we will enter the slightly higher fuel figures for Billund and Aalborg. Cosnex 40, Flight Level 310. Then we have checked all of those. So let's see. We are going to depart off runway 34 left, or at least I think it will be 34 left. I tell you what, I'm just going to grab the IFR clearance already, because there is a certain chance that they might be using different runways. So we're going from Romeo Juliet Alpha Alpha to Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel. Our gate is 31. We got, well, no ATIS because the thing doesn't work. And then Tokyo down here. So, request pre-departure clearance Scandinavian 984 A340-300 to Copenhagen at Narita stand 31 ATIS Alpha. I would say that looks quite good, so let's go ahead and send that clearance request. And the thing is sent, good. Then we'll just continue with the rest of our setup. We'll leave the SID blank for the time being. Arrivals going to be into an ILS runway 22 left. Don't ask me why it's ordered that strange here. So we got the Anov 3 Charlie arrival, which is that one, and we don't need any approach wire, so insert. That looks good. Now for the emergencies. That's copied, thank you. We got NRTX3. Assuming that it is going to be runway 34 left, but we'll find out momentarily. So, Tokyo 34 left. Let's grab the chart. Runway heading 337. And 25 miles straight. Store that one. And then let's wait a second before we go into the flight plan here. Company message received, copied. In the meantime, we can already start entering our fuel and weight figures. So we should have a final load sheet here as far as I've seen. So I'll tell you what, let's just enter those figures straight away, even though they aren't entirely accurate. So we got 159.8, that should be accurate. And the CG for that one is 27.2. 100 tons fuel. And here's our clearance. So, print, Wilco, send. 34 left, Gulbo 2 departure. So, 34 left, and we got Gulbo 2. Here we go, insert. Man, for a moment I thought, did it just do a wasm crash? But no, it didn't. It was just a general lack of the computer. That is acceptable. Just don't wasm crash on me, please. Alright, cool. So that's our SID inserted. Then let's go back into the normal flow. So we got NRTX3. Oh, that's interesting. I'll tell you what, new destination, Romeo Juliet Alpha Alpha, like that, and arrival, I don't know why it says airport not in database, and then still loads it fine. So runway 34 left, ILS approach, don't need any transitional stuff, and we can insert a holding at that waypoint here as well. 1 minute lag time, like that. Perfect. By the way, this thing has been fixed as well. There used to be a bug where it would give you a wasm crash when you simply, when you got this, I don't even know how to call it properly, when you got this flickering of the waypoints when you entered the details, but they solved that, it's no longer doing that. So as you can see, wasm crashes are fixable. It just needs people to report them and report exact steps on how to reproduce them. And then developers can actually fix those things. But always worth mentioning, because, well, some people just assume wasm crashes are a given, but no, they are fixable. Okay, cool. So now that we got that, let's go down into the fix info page. We're going from Romeo Juliet Alpha Alpha 34 left, and that's a 337 track, and then we got NRTX3 up here. Alright, cool. So back to the performance initialization. We've just entered those figures. Then, let's see, contingency is 2.3. Then we got alternate, well, that's for Malmö. Let's take 3.6 for Aalborg. Like that. And then final reserves 2.4. Alright, that is looking good. Minus 5.3. That is soon going to solve itself when we start entering our final figures. For the time being, since the boarding is already complete, we can just enter the complete performance figures. So that's flaps 2, up trim 5.8, and 40 degrees flex. So up 5.8 and flex 40. Now for our takeoff speeds, we got 46, 57, 64. Like that. Noise abatement procedure number 2 and engine auto acceleration 1500 above ground. We can use climb D rate 2. And finally we got Romeo Juliet Alpha Alpha 34 left. Alright, and that's our setup completed. Actually not entirely, I forgot the step climbs. So let's start inserting those as well. So, flight level 330 at 44 north, 155 east. Let's see how they are naming those things. 44N, 155E. Okay, that was an easy one. So, at 44N, 155E, climbing to level 330. Then we got level 350 at Mark. Next up, flight level 370 at 75N and 155 west. And then we got flight level 390 at 74N000 east /390. And here we go. That's our flight step climbs entered. Lovely. So let's now go for the wind data request. And as soon as that is done, we can check the fuel figures. But yeah, look at that, 2.8 tons extra, 37 minutes, which is just about perfect for the weather conditions we're anticipating over there. Wonderful. So we can now remove that EFB and just head over into that EFB to cross-check our SID. So Gulbo 2 departure, runway 34 left. And if you say that that does not look like something that we actually want to fly, then you're absolutely right. Okay, so straight at to areas above 4,000, which we got, and which the computer says we are unable to comply with. Okay, let's try without the climb derate. That should make quite the difference here. Yeah, still missing 500, so let's go ahead and accelerate 500 later. Normally that helps. No, actually lower. Okay. Well, in that case, we got to inform ATC that we will be unable to meet that restriction. Or is there anything else we can do about it? Let's just see what happens when I go for a complete noise abatement procedure number 1. Then we can do it. Alright, so we'll fly noise abatement procedure 1. Perfect. That makes our life a lot easier. It really does. Okay, cool. So that stuff is now in and checked. Then we continue via waypoint Alpha 4 Lima 11, then Alpha 4 Lima 12 below 7,000. Got that. Then we continue via waypoint 13, 14 Rooney. And we have all of those. And then via Chums to Cupid and to Gulbo. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Perfect, then we can leave that. We've got this thing in, then let's see up here. QNH is 1015. Initial climb, I think we had 6,000 on the clearance, did we? Yep, maintain 6,000. Like that, perfect. And the rest is set. Alright. Cool, so we're done with our setup, then let's say hello to our passengers and then we can get ready for our pushback. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel and in the name of Scandinavian Airlines, welcome aboard our Airbus A340 on our flight to Copenhagen. Today's flight time has been calculated as 13 hours and 30 minutes, expecting a smooth ride for the most part of it with a little bit of turbulence in our climb. Now, thank you very much for being our guest. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. And if there is anything we can do for you to make it more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew members. Thank you very much for your attention, and again, welcome aboard. Alright, so the chocks can be removed, ground equipment can completely be removed. So, GPU is going, chocks are going. Then let's go over into GSX and prepare for pushback and departure. Over here, the aircraft is, of course, not loaded correctly. Let's just press another instant. Why is that moving outside? Why did it go into the pushback editor? No! What are you doing? How do I edit this bloody thing? How do I even get out of this? Not at all? Oh, nothing happening. Oh, fuck's sake, I hate GSX. Change direction. Luckily we have this. Okay, good. So these things are out. Doors are armed. Well, then let's do the takeoff briefing, please. So we're departing from Tokyo Narita, runway 34 left, Golbo 2 departure, initial climb 6000, MSA 4000, and extra fuel on time is pretty much just over 20 minutes. Anything to add there? Don't think so, huh? Good. So no hotspots for a taxi out, stop margin for an RTO will be only a few meters, and engine out sits straight at 25, climbing 4000. If we need to make an immediate return, 3-4 left is programmed. We are above the maximum landing weight, but we've got all options available. On 4000 meters we can even land without many problems if we have to. However, the only reason why I am going to make an immediate return is because of an unextinguishable fire. Anything else, we just go straight into the holding or wherever ATC likes us to go. Decide on our options, we can even dump fuel if we need to, so we really got all options on the table. Apart from that, I've got nothing special. In terms of non-standards, I got nothing as well. Threats? Nothing. So the only thing that we got to mention here under miscellaneous is that altitude restriction at areas. So noise abatement procedure number 1 is required for us to be able to actually meet that restriction. Any questions or concerns? No? Alright, then cockpit preparation checklist, please. Gear pins and covers removed, fuel quantity 100 tons balanced, seatbelts on, ADRs, nav, and barrel ref QNH 1015. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Alright, cool. So all that good stuff is done. Let's go ahead and confirm our IFR clearance. So expect runway 34 left, Golbo 2 departure. And we got 34 left, Golbo 2 departure. Maintain 6000. Which is checked, and departure on 121.275, squawk 4514. And that's set. Alright, beautiful. Clearance is confirmed. Then let's call for pushback. So, AGC overview, please. Here we go. Narita, ground 121.95. Ground from cockpit. Please confirm that all doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment is removed, and the bypass pin is installed. That's all confirmed, Cap. Alright, thanks. We'll call for push.
Ready for push and start. Air Japan 121, push and start approach. Roger, pushback approved. Air Japan 121.
Narita, ground, Scandinavian 9R84, request pushback and startup. So transponder is on.
Scandinavian 984, pushback and startup approved. Face southeast.
Pushback and startup approved, facing southeast, Scandinavian 9R84. So before start checklist, park and brake our trucks, brake set. Actually, park and brake set. Takeoff speeds and thrust V1 146, VR 157, V2 164, flex 40. Windows locked and beacon on before start checklist complete. Ground from cockpit, push and start approved, facing southeast, park and brake set. Roger that, stand by. So we'll do that facing south, huh? Release parking brakes. And parking brake is released. Thank you. Start the push facing south. Stand by for my signal to start your engines. Roger. So, off block 5 minutes late. That is okay. And we can certainly put that clock to GPS mode.
Runway 34 right taxi via Quebec 6, Romeo, Tango, Tango 8, Papa Charlie, Echo 2, Kilo, Bravo 8. Runway 34 right taxi via Quebec 6, Romeo, Tango, Tango 8, Papa Charlie, Echo 2, Kilo, Bravo 8, Air Japan 121.
When I hear a taxi clearance like this, I'm pretty happy that we are not going to fit off the short runway. You can see the 787 in the background there taking off on 3-4 left as well. Okay, so we're clear of the road. Ground flight, starting engines 1, 2, 3, 4 in that sequence, and we'll begin with engine number 1 now. Clear 1. So, all green, engine 1 start.
Ready to taxi.
So, N2 is increasing.
All Nippon 919er.
Ground flight, starting engine 2.
Via Tango,
Clear 2.
Tango 8, Papa Charlie,
Engine 2 start.
Kilo, Bravo 8. Runway 34 right taxi via Tango, Tango 8, Papa Charlie, Echo 2, Kilo, Bravo 8, all Nippon 919er.
So, fighter from ground, pushback is completed, sub brakes. Park and brake set. Roger, stand by. Okay, ground, we have 2 good starts, starting engine number 3. Clear 3. Waiting for the avail light, and as soon as that's there, we commence number 3. Here it is. So, number 3 starting. And we got 10% ground flight, starting engine 4. Clear 4. Engine 4 start. Well, I suppose the 787 behind has to wait. Or taxi off to the right, which would probably be what they would clear the real world, but so be it. So, ramp engine is going, holding a pin in the hands. We'll not talk about the suicidal wing walkers. Now, would the jet blast from our engines be strong enough to blast that wing walker into the engine of the 787? I suppose that's among the category of things you don't want to find out. Alright, and here he is with the pin. Good. So just waiting for number 2 to complete this, number 4 to complete the startup. Okay, ground. Please prepare the airplane for taxi. See you on the left side with a pin, and have a good day. Bye-bye. So, that one. Trim is standard and conv 2. Then we need 5.8 units trim, which is more like this. No anti-ice needed, looks good. After start checklist, engine anti-ice off, ecam status checked, pitch trim is 27% set, rudder trim neutral, after start checklist complete. Scandinavian 984, request taxi.
Scandinavian 984, runway 34 left taxi via Romeo Sierra 1, Kilo Alpha, Alpha 10.
Taxi to holding point runway 34 left via Romeo Sierra 1, Kilo Alpha, Alpha 10, Scandinavian 984. So, of course we have no taxiway designators at all over here. Let's take the 3-4 departure chart. That one's better, huh? So, Romeo. Then we got Sierra 1. Romeo, Sierra 1, Kilo, Alpha, Alpha 10. Okay, so straight ahead, to the right, and then to the full length. Good. Clear on the left side, clear on the right side. And park and brake off. Let's go. Brake check. Pressure 0. Flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral. And then we're just waiting for the cabin to get ready. Oh, here they are. That was quick. Cool. So taxi checklist, please. Flight controls checked. Flap setting, config 2. Radar and PWS, on and auto. Engine mode selector, norm, ecam memo, takeoff, no blue. Taxi checklist complete. Alright, so once clear of the Japan air, we'll have to have a good look at where he's going, but okay, if he's turning left, then that's not going to be a problem. So, technically speaking, we are on an apron here, so we should be going 15 knots. If we go like 3 knots faster, okay.
Ground Engineer 217, taxi to parking.
So, looks like the tire in front of us there is going to depart before us. Anything else? Gonna go behind us. I like that. It's just amazing how many wide bodies there are in Tokyo here. Okay, so we take the next to the right, which is going to be Kilo. Left side is clear. Right side is clear as far as I can tell. Now, what are you doing there? Take something useful on your EFB, please. Thank you. So, clear left side and clear right side. So from here we're going to continue via Alpha to Alpha 10, so that's next left and then to the full length for runway 34 left. And the right side is clear. That's where you're supposed to look, lady, not to the left. Alright, so with that 767 in front of us, we can basically go slow over here because he has to depart ahead.
637, request pushback. Singapore 637, cleared for push and start. Roger, pushback approved. Singapore 637.
So if we take a moment, no changes to the briefing, huh? We do have a company message though. Let's have a very quick look. Third load sheet. Well, let's have a very quick look at that. But I think it's pretty much unchanged, is it? CG, well, take us CG 25-2, which is like here-ish. Okay, rest is unchanged. Except, thank you, bye-bye. Alright, cool.
5068, taxi to parking. 5068, taxi to parking via Bravo 4, Bravo Charlie, Echo 3, Papa 3. Bravo 4.
And what did I say, 767? That's an A350, of course. Okay, that would have been an insult to the Airbus, but that's okay.
Singapore 637, runway 34 left, taxi via Romeo Sierra 1, Kilo Alpha, Alpha 10. Scandinavian 984, contact tower on 118.2, take care.
118.2, Scandinavian 908 for takeoff. Tower, good afternoon, Scandinavian 984 ready in sequence.
Scandinavian 984, heavy Narita Tower, say again please.
Scandinavian 984 ready for departure behind the Thai A350. Just give the Thai the takeoff clearance, and then we can go.
Scandinavian 984, runway 34 left, hold short, you're number 1 behind the A340.
Holding short, runway 34 left, Scandinavian 984. Alright, cool. So we are behind the A350. Let's just hope that he's going to depart any moment. I'm sure he is he? When is the A350 going to depart? Because I don't see any traffic there, so...
Scandinavian 984, the A350 is departing shortly.
Yeah, thanks for that. Let's take our TCAS and cheat a bit. 4 miles, okay. I suppose we'll just speed this up a little bit, and when we get the clearance, I'll be right back with you. And he's gone. I guess I don't have to understand why, but it doesn't matter. Traffic is on a short final. Once he's in, we're going to be out. We can see them coming over there already. Damn, that could have been one of my landings. Alright. Scandinavian 934, ready for departure.
Scandinavian 984, runway 34 left, hold short, A320 on the runway.
Okay, so we are holding short. Parking brake is set, and then here we are. Oh yeah, he takes a long time to locate that runway. He just... no, he's still rolling, okay. Oh, it's just... you know, at this level of zoom, very hard to see. Scandinavian 984, can we already line up? Is that a DC-9? Or a 717?
Scandinavian 984, heavy, runway 34 left, line up and wait.
Runway 34 left, line up and wait, Scandinavian 984. I just want to see that DC-9 behind me. That's more interesting than the lineup right now.
05, contact ground on 121.85.
Okay, let's do this properly. So, clear on the left side.
Scandinavian 984, heavy, runway 34 left, wind calm, cleared for takeoff.
Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Runway 34 left, cleared for takeoff, Scandinavian 984 heavy. Lineup checklist, takeoff runway, 34 left for length, TCAS, TARA, PAX 1 and 2, off, lineup checklist complete. Ready? Take off. Land flags 40, SRS, runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. Knots, checked.
D1.
Rotate.
1,500 meters remaining.
Positive climb. Gear up. Okay. Up in the air, climb to 3,100, and then we can accelerate.
Scandinavian 984, contact departure on 121.275.
121.275, Scandinavian 984. Thrust climb, auto thrust. Tokyo departure, Scandinavian 984 heavy, passing 1,900, climbing 6,000. Pack one on.
Scandinavian 984, heavy, Tokyo departure, radar contact. Climb 6,000, vectors to Eagle, Dana's filed.
Climbing 6,000, Scandinavian 984. And 6,000 is actually blue already.
Scandinavian 984, climb flight level 200.
Climbing flight level 200, Scandinavian 984. Flight level, well, alt 7,000 magenta. So we'll just handle the acceleration a little bit dynamic right now, depending on how our altitude is going to be by the time we reach areas, just so that we can make sure.
Contact Tokyo Control on 132.25.
13225, Scandinavian 984. Flaps 1. Tokyo Control, good afternoon, Scandinavian 984 Heavy, passing 4,000, climbing level 200. Flaps 0. Speed checked, flaps 0.
Scandinavian 9084, Tokyo Control identified. Good morning, Ryugaseki, QNH 29er.94.
29094, Scandinavian 984. Okay. 2994 is set. And that green dot is not correct there. Should be 257, the maximum. And that's set. Scandinavian 984, please confirm, are we climbing unrestricted? Climbing unrestricted, flight level 200, Scandinavian 984. Open climb, alt 20,000 blue. That's what I wanted to hear, that way we don't have to level off into 7,000 here. I mean, we are climbing pretty well, but, you know, always want to be sure there. Okay, autopilot 1. And then a very quick check here.
Scandinavian 984, climb flight level 240.
Climbing flight level 240, Scandinavian 984. That's 24,000 blue. So 1444, and the schedule is 35. Alright, then I tell you what we are going to do about this. So they play Mach 0.80, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Let's do 0.82, then we are going to be on time. So Mach 82 and the end waypoint. Come on. It's going to be an Aeronaut. Of course that is allowed. Unless I did a typo. No, tells me not allowed. Okay, well then it's going to be Toppler. Like that. So let's see, 1431 on time. 12.2, which is an hour and 24 extra. Yeah, I don't trust that. But let's fly there first and then see what's going to happen second. Passing 10,000, engine LTS on. Alright, managed speed, and then we can clean her up. We'll keep those seatbelts on until we reach the top of climb. Alright, cool. And with that, we are pretty much done with everything here. Just have to program the ETOPS points, but we will do that when we are actually en route. So for the time being, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and then I'll get back to you when something interesting happens. Or when we reach our destination. getting close to Copenhagen, and we just got the handover to approach, who we can call just now. Copenhagen approach, Scandinavian 984 heavy, passing level 120, descending level 110, information Bravo. So let's see which runway they're going to have for us today. 4 left and right are active. A little bit of weather all around, as we can see. In the meantime, engine anti-ice back off.
Scandinavian 984, heavy Copenhagen approach, identified. God after midday cleared earpuck transition. Expect the ILS runway 4 left approach into Kastrup.
Expecting the ILS runway 4 left, Scandinavian 984. Okay, good. So from earpuck ILS runway 4 left, we can absolutely do that. So, 4 right was on the primary flight plan, then let's go onto the secondary over here as soon as we have commenced that turn. Inbound waypoint 744. In the meantime, speed alt star and alt. So, funnily enough, we are now 12 hours in the air, and when we compare that with our SimReef plan, you can see that one had 13 hours 25. I really don't know where a difference of over an hour came from, but for that reason we have so much extra fuel that, well, at least we are below the maximum landing weight. That's something. Alright, so we're inbound 744, heading, and activate secondary. So, inbound Charlie Hotel 744 again. Like that, and here we go, nav. Beautiful. Then we are on the approach. And we can start with the approach briefing, please. Do have a little bit of time for this, so we don't need to hurry, but let's get it out of the way as soon as possible, shall we? So, we're arriving in Copenhagen on an ILS approach to runway 4 left from Earpuck. MSA 2000 rounded up already, and we've got quite some turbulence here. No, we've got no need for temperature corrections. Minimum 220, go around straight ahead, climbing 3000. Extra fuel and time. Yes. Just yes. Okay, so for the arrival itself, we expect radar vectors, flat rector guidance, config 3, and I will be using idle reverse. Vacate the runway either to the left or to the right, that depends a bit on where we are going to be parking. And we've got nothing special or non-standard over here. Do you see any threats for the arrival? No? Okay, beautiful, then that's our approach briefing completed. So, how many miles do we have left? 135. No, definitely not. Let's see, that's about 30 miles, so we have around about 40 nautical miles, so might as well request descent already. Scandinavian 984, standing by for further descent. Let's see what the AI is going to make out of that.
Descend 4,000, expect further descent shortly.
Descent altitude 4,000, Scandinavian 984. First idle open descent alt flight level 40 blue. Set QNH. QNH 996, cross check passing 10,300. Now, checked. Okay, so down here is the airport. What? Signs, ethers. So, GPS primary, high accuracy, engine start, select on norm. Approach checklist, please. Barrow reference, QNH 9996 seatbelts on, minimum, Sparrow 220, auto brake low, and engine start selector on. Approach checklist complete.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on our final approach into Copenhagen. Please turn off your
This just looks really darn fantastic, doesn't it? Graphics in this sim are just enormous. Too bad we didn't see many northern lights, but it doesn't always happen, even though it happens most of the time. Usually when passengers are dead asleep. Engine LGS on. Engine LTS is on. So what company message do we have there? Telex, expect Spear Charlie 39. Okay, let's see where that is. Charlie 39 out here, okay. So I think it's best if we vacate to the right and then via Bravo in, huh? Bravo straight ahead, Romeo left, Charlie 39. So that's Echo 3. By default I wanted to vacate the runway to the left, so we have to ask air traffic control about it. But I think vacating at the end, Echo 1, Romeo Bravo, to the gate is going to be easiest, so we'll definitely be asking air traffic control about that. Cool. We'll do that once we're with the tower, because he's the one basically responsible, and he's the one who's got the ground controller sitting right next to him, so they can easily ask if it's possible. The problem with vacating on that taxiway is of course that runway 4 right is used for departures, so if we do vacate to the right, we gotta ensure that there is no opposite traffic coming on Bravo. If there is, then we gotta vacate to the left and then probably taxiway at Delta or something. Okay, that much about those basics here. Speed, vertical speed, minus 700. No need to slow down already. And select the 250 so that we don't slow down automatically once we reach Charlie Hotel 727. Really gotta say, the weather looks beautiful today, doesn't it? So that's a bit of Copenhagen down there. So a little bit of weather moving in on the approach, and by the looks of it we're going to have 14 knots tailwind on the final. Okay, well, not much we can do about this. 1,000 to go. Checked. Tell you what, we're going to ask for the base turn as soon as we're past this red over there. So a small range over here, larger range over here. Scandinavian 984. We need the base turn in 3 miles due to weather.
Base turn approved in 3 miles. Maintain 4,000 until established.
Roger, turning base now and maintaining 4,000 until established, Scandinavian 984. Okay, so left heading 130. And sequence the flight plan, please. So direct to, give me Charlie Hotel 4 Lima Fox, please. On a radial 217. Yep, like that. I'll stop. So 13 miles out, let's start slowing down. Well, I think green dot is just about fine. Activate approach phase. Manage speed. Here we are. Scandinavian 984. Request heading 100 to avoid weather.
Scandinavian 984, heading 100 approved. Maintain 4,000.
Heading 100 approved, maintaining 4,000, Scandinavian 984. Okay, that keeps us clear of the weather. Scandinavian 984 is ready to turn final. And we'll do that already. So 070.
Scandinavian 984, turn left, heading 046. Expect the ILS runway 4 left approach.
Heading 046, expect ILS runway 4 left, Scandinavian 984. Okay, flaps 1.
Departure Scandinavian 69er Papa 2000 for 4,000.
Speed checked, flaps 1. They're putting us above the glide slope here, so let's start slowing down so that we can catch it from above. But yeah, I don't know what ATC is doing here. What I do know is that it's nonsense. Thrust idle descent, alt 2000 blue, we'll establish
Scandinavian
ourselves.
69er Papa contact Copenhagen control on 136.485.
010. Cath dual, autopilot 1 and 2, low glide slope, localizer blue.
Scandinavian 69er Papa, good day.
Full speed brake, present speed.
Scandinavian 984, contact Castrop Tower on 121.83.
Gear down. 121.83, Scandinavian 984.
Scandinavian 908.
Lockstar. Castrop Tower, Scandinavian 984, heavy, established ILS 4 left. Oh man, now we are really high. Speed alt star.
Scandinavian 984, heavy Castrop Tower, roger, continue approach runway 4 left.
Okay, that's 1,100 blue, thrust idle descent. And here comes the glide. Speed, glide slope star, manage speed.
Scandinavian 984, heavy Castrop Tower, winds 110 at 10, runway 4 left, clear to land.
Runway 4 left, clear to land, Scandinavian 984 heavy. Flaps 2. Glide slope. Flaps 3. Speed checked, flaps 3.
1,000.
Yep, runway's inside, so we can use the 500-foot minimum. And flaps full. Let's use conflict full for landing here, because it helps slowing down.
Approaching 04 left.
Wow, we're not losing any speed.
500.
Nope, this is not working out. Go around flaps.
400.
Mantoga, SRS, nav. Scandinavian 984 Heavy going around. Positive climb. Gear up.
Scandinavian 984. Execute missed approach procedure. Contact approach on 118.455.
Missed approach as published, 118455 Scandinavian 984 Heavy. Flaps 1. Speed check to flaps 1. Copenhagen approach, Scandinavian 984 going around. Flap 0. Speed check, flap 0.
Scandinavian 984, heavy, unbelievable. Execute missed approach. Give me 1 second.
Full vertical speed, vertical speed 1000. Missed approach as published, Scandinavian 984 Heavy. Huh, nothing nicer than to go around after 12 hours and 17 minutes of flight.
Scandinavian 984, turn left. Heading 235 vectors for the ILS runway 4 left approach.
Left heading 235 vectors ILS runway 4 left, Scandinavian 984 Heavy. Alright, so if we have to do it, we have to do it. Then let's go ahead and prepare the next approach already. So activate approach phase.
1424 contact Copenhagen control on 136.
Activated and active. And that should have reinserted the approach, and it did. So let's extend the center line from cap view.
Good day.
Actually, wait a moment, there's runway 4 right in there. Or is it? Look at that. Runway 4 left. Runway 4 right. Huh. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll reinsert the approach for runway 4 left. So, booting up here, 217 the radial. Like that. So, that's looking better. The rest is pretty much unchanged. We can insert 04 left down here. No nav intercept is checked. Okay, so down here everything is unchanged. This time we can go back to config 3. And this time we definitely have to slow down earlier. With that tailwind, not much we could do. Alright, cool. And secondary copy active. Here we go. So, auto brake. Low is reselected. Ooh, that's some lovely weather here now. Yeah, we'll have to go through this. We'll somehow have to jump through that and then establish ourselves on the approach. Okay. Alright, in the meantime, quick PA to our guests. Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. As you have noticed, we were in quite a bit of turbulence on this approach and have therefore decided not to land at this time. Instead, we executed go around, and we are now flying back to a second approach, after which the weather has hopefully cleared. Thank you very much for your understanding, and we expect to be on the ground in Copenhagen in about 10 minutes. Thank you very much for your attention. Alright, cool. So the guests are briefed. That guy has no problem flying through the red, because hey, why not? Alright then, so for the approach itself, we are once again going to do an ILS approach, pretty much the very same plan that we had earlier. Any questions on that? No? Alright, beautiful. Then that is our briefing completed. Approach checklist. Barrel ref, QNH 9906, seatbelts on, minimum Sparrow 220, engine mode selector norm, and auto brake low. Approach checklist complete. So where is that weather? Pretty hard to tell right now. I'll tell you what, let's try base turn. If that guy can fly there, then it should be fine. Scandinavian 984, request heading 120 to avoid weather. We'll start the turn now already, otherwise we're getting too close to the red.
Scandinavian 984, turn right heading 120 to avoid weather.
Left heading 120 to avoid is approved. Scandinavian 984 heavy. Yeah, I'll disregard that he said right. We'll go left. Scandinavian 984, can we already descend to altitude 2000?
Scandinavian 984, turn right heading 245.
Nope. Unable due to weather.
Scandinavian 984, descend altitude 2,000 feet.
Descending altitude 2000 feet, Scandinavian 9084. Thrust idle, open descent.
Scandinavian 984, roger, maintain altitude 3,000 until able to descend.
What? No. Scandinavian 9084, due to weather, can we establish ourselves on the final? Flaps 1. Speed check. Flaps 1.
Scandinavian 984, turn right heading 260 vectors for the ILS runway 4 left approach.
No, definitely not. Scandinavian 9084, unable due to weather, we establish ourselves. Yeah, I don't care what you are going to say now. We're flying through weather, our radio is not working.
Scandinavian 984, turn right heading 265 vectors for the ILS
No.
runway 4 left approach.
No. I'll just disregard it. So opposite traffic over there, but if we make the left turn now, it should be absolutely fine. So runway is 04, that means we take heading 070 to establish. So speed out star, Cat3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2, glide slope localizer blue. Speed is coming back, and this time it's looking much better, is it? We should end up roughly 3 miles ahead of the other aircraft. Block star.
Scandinavian 984 heavy, 3 miles from Charlie Hotel 4 Lima Foxtrot. Turn left heading 030, cleared for the ILS runway 4 left approach.
Cleared ILS 4 left, Scandinavian 9035. Correction, 9084, thank you. And changing to tower. Scandinavian 984. I interrupted him there, but I knew what he was about to say. Kastrup Tower, Scandinavian 984, heavy, established ILS 04 left. Glide slope alive, flaps 2. Speed checked, flaps 2.
Scandinavian 984, heavy Kastrup Tower, roger, continue
And
approach,
gear
runway 4 left.
Continue approach, Scandinavian 984. Okay, lights are on anyway. Glide slope star. Go around altitude 3000 set, flaps 3 and flaps 4. Well, no, flaps 3, that's final. Okay, landing checklist, econ memo, landing no blue, landing checklist complete. So, this time it's looking a lot better than last time. Wind check. Cat 1.
Scandinavian 984, winds 110 at 10.
110 at 10, so they're going to turn quite a bit to the left.
1 fast.
Checked, and this time we're all stabilized.
On 121.905.
Ground, Nordic 970.
Scandinavian 984, can we vacate the runway to the right?
Approaching 04 left.
Checked.
Scandinavian 984, winds 110 at 10.
Are we cleared to land?
500.
Scandinavian 984, are we cleared to land?
300.
Land?
100 above.
Checked.
Scandinavian 984, heavy, winds 110 at 10.
Minimum.
Runway 4 left, clear to land.
Runway 4 left, cleared to land, Scandinavian 984 heavy.
100. 50. 40. 30. 320. 10.
Nordic 941, hold short of runway 12.
Spot us!
Nordic 941.
Reverse green, manual brakes. Scandinavian 984, may we vacate to the right?
Scandinavian 984, bucket right approved.
Roger.
1,500 meters remaining.
Okay, lovely.
1,200 remaining. 900 remaining.
70 knots.
600 remaining. 300 remaining.
Scandinavian 984, welcome to Castro. Contact ground on 121.905.
121.9005, Scandinavian 984, bye bye.
30 meters remaining.
Okay, please tune that frequency for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed in Copenhagen. Did you know that Copenhagen is home to the famous mermaid statue, inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale? Also, the city is known for its beautiful canals and vibrant cycling culture.
Ground, hello, Scandinavian 984, heavy, request taxi to the gate.
Position. On behalf of Captain Emmanuel, First Officer Stephanie, and the entire crew, we wish you a pleasant stay in this wonderful city. The local time is 3:54 in the afternoon. If you have
Scandinavian 984, taxi to Pier C Gate 39 via Echo 1 Bravo Romeo. Have a great day.
15.
Echo 1, Bravo Romeo to the gate, Charlie 39, Scandinavian 984 heavy.
Gate 24.
Okay, Echo 1 is what we were on, Bravo Romeo, perfect. Alright, after landing checklist, radar and predictive wind shear off, after landing checklist complete. Scandinavian 984, are we clear to cross runway 30? So the right side is clear, the left side is clear, now we just need ATC clearance.
Scandinavian 984, cross runway 30, then continue taxi.
Crossing runway 30 approved, Scandinavian 984. Beautiful. Strobes
Approaching
coming on,
1, 2.
and RTI's off. GSX menu not available. Why? I want parking guidance. Piece of shit. Charlie 39 is the first on the left. So lights off. And here we go. Okay, no guidance system, so be it. Let me just park ourselves here. And here we are. Okay, park and brake is set. APU is available. 4, 3, 2, 1. Cabin crew, all doors in park. So the engine's running down, beacon off, seatbelts off, ground power is available and online. Alright, parking checklist please. The park and brake our trucks are set. Well, we know that the trucks are in position, so park and brake released, engines off, fuel pumps off, parking checklist complete. And with that, here we are. Welcome back to Copenhagen. I do hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Now let's go ahead and shut that thing down. Fuel used 82,960. So 16.9 on board, yeah. For some reason, we should have flown an hour longer according to the predictions, so what can I say, huh? So be it. In any case, welcome back to Copenhagen. I do hope you all have enjoyed that flight. Be sure to leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. As always, like, comment and subscribe. I do hope you enjoyed this little go-around of ours. And it was very nice to see that the A340 handled the go-around pretty well, with the exception that it inserted the wrong runway after our touchdown. Or rather, after reactivating the approach phase. In any case, welcome back to Copenhagen. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.